Welcome back to my live stream. Welcome back to my review. This is Jacob Cast 2024. Welcome back to my podcast. We're going to talk about WWE SmackDown. SmackDown just went off the air 20 minutes. We're going to go through the entire SmackDown show. Then we'll go through our Royal Rumble predictions. And then we'll talk about the news and rumors on who could possibly show up in the Rumble. Then we'll talk about who I think could win the Rumble. The pay-per-view tomorrow night only had like 4 match cards. They did have a kickoff show that we will go over. It was on earlier today, before SmackDown went on the air, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about AEW and the terrible show they had on Wednesday. But I just want to say, make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think about this video. Now the show ended with Jacob Fatu standing tall, beating up Damian Priest, hitting the what's it called? The Frost Blast or the Moonsault? Yeah, the Moonsault on Damian Priest. Now SmackDown wasn't really that special. SmackDown actually felt kind of boring. We had some good wrestling. There was some good wrestling on this show. Outside the opener with Kevin Owens and CM Punk, we did have some decent wrestling on the show, but nothing else, nothing major. There's no big storylines. I'm just glad that we're getting here in the Royal Rumble. Now the main event was Damian Priest and LA Knight versus Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. Priest and LA Knight got the victory, and then Jacob Fatu attacked them at the end and stood tall, and that's how the show ended. Now I'm gonna rewind back to actually wait a minute. Alright, Alright. Now let's get into the Women's Royal Rumble. These are the superstars who were in the Women's Royal Rumble. And there go the Men Royal Rumble. Oh wait, my man. The Men Royal Rumble. Hold on. That the Men Royal Rumble. And here the tag team matches. DIY versus Motor City Machine Gun for the WWE Tag Team titles. This is a 2 out of 3 fault match. Should be a great match. I'm looking forward to it. This is the first time that the tag team titles will be defended on a PLE in over a year. Last time they'll defend it at WrestleMania last year. This is the first time. I'm glad that they're giving the spotlight. Now the Rumble is one of your top 4 pay-per-view. This show will obviously go 4 hours. This might be a long match. This might go more than 20 minutes. Both of these teams are phenomenal. DIY, they have a great title one. They're very good heels. These mostly machine guns are very good. I can't wait. This should be a great match. What do you think about this match? Who think gonna win? Obviously, I think DIY should win. I think DIY is the right team. Yeah, this is me. I think DIY is gonna win this match. They'll win this match. All right. Now let's go into Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship in a ladder match. Now these two have been going at it for months. These two have feuded since August last year, and then the feud didn't get serious until Kevin Owens turned heel with Bad Blood. That was back in October. Since then, the feud had dragged. It's been very good. The promos have been great. The brawls have been great. The storyline have been great. But I think it's time we end it. Now the reason why this match has a stipulation because Cody Rhodes cheated at Saturday Night Main Event, and got the fluke victory where he used the steel chair to his advantage, and then Kevin Owens hit the power driver and took him out. And that's why we got this ladder match. It's gonna be a great match. This might be given some good time. This might go 20 minutes, I think. We could see Randy Orton coming in and helping them, but I don't think so. I think Cole will win it. Kevin Owens is carrying around the wing eagle. So Cody Rhodes is obviously gonna climb up the ladder, unhook the WWE Championship and the wing eagle. So obviously Cody Rhodes is gonna retain, and then we'll see where he goes into WrestleMania. Kevin Owens, they might have something planned for Sami Zayn because they teased it on the Raw, with Sami Zayn possibly turning heel. Something there gonna be going on. Um, those were the four matches, by the way. Those were the four matches for the pay-per-view. Only four. We did get an interaction with Tiffany Stratton and Candice LeRae, and Nia Jax attacked them. Alright, so alright, so alright, so now let me go back here. Might will show y'all what's on the show. We got now my videos have been sponsored by my favorite podcaster, Joe Cronin, Fightful Wrestling, JD from New York. There's No DQ. Alright, now let's show you their channels here.
Against Cody Rhodes in a main event at WrestleMania. Like, these are the guys that we just had that were making our company amazing, and now they're headlining WrestleMania. F us, you know. I mean, Tony Khan is going to have 1 pound of coke in one hand and a syringe in the other hand, and I don't know. Good times. Oh, man, yeah, hey, let's fight right now. Yeah. Let's fight right now. And then Kevin Owens did walk away. And then we get Punk talking to the camera. I knew it. I knew he would. Which, of course, makes Kevin Owens look like a chump and a coward. And Punk look like a badass. So I just feel like that's maybe not inverted, but.
Salamander. I think the best thing with the opener, CM Punk classic Kevin Owens' interview. Joe Testo interviewed Kevin Owens and he got interrupted by CM Punk. Now the matches for the show. Now these were the four matches that they announced: Liv Morgan and Naomi, Jimmy Uso and Carmelo Hayes, DIY and Pretty Dead versus the Machine Guns and Lost Galza. And then we got Chelsea Green defending the Women U.S. Championship against Michin. Those were the four matches that they announced. There was no Cody Rhodes on this show. We actually didn't see him. No Cody Rhodes on this show. It's kind of weird when you think about it. Probably because it wasn't. I don't think we needed. Probably because Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes defeated Granite Court, so there's not much that they can do. And plus, we already got Cody and Kevin last week on Saturday Night Main Event, and they did that whole contract signing. This week, Cody Rhodes wasn't on the show because well, the few Granite Courts. Now, after SmackDown, gonna go to what happened on SmackDown here. I mean, last week we got that great brawl, and then we got a brawl on Saturday Night Main Event. We again. All we got was an interacting with CM Punk and Kevin Owens, which I thought was very good and thought it was great. Thought that was the highlight of this show, and that was it. CM Punk going after Kevin Owens, teasing that he could win the Rumble, and then Kevin Owens win. They can KO CM Punk at WrestleMania. They were very good right here. I forgot even more. CM Punk coming over to SmackDown, obviously teasing Cody Rhodes, because on Monday Night Raw, they had that face to face. Now, they had that last year. I just want you guys to know, last year they had that same face to face with Cody Rhodes and CM Punk on the last year's Go Home show to the Rumble, where they teased him and Punk. Now they did it again this year. That actually tells you that may not happen. That may not happen. Now, unless CM Punk is gonna really be traded over to SmackDown, if that's what they're gonna be doing, I don't think we need him. I don't think we need another babyface because who exactly gets over? CM Punk is a babyface, Cody's a babyface. Who exactly are we gonna cheer for? Who gets over? One of them had to turn heel. CM Punk is your babyface. He's a face the heel Gunther when you win the Rumble. Because who Gunther gonna face? I don't think it should be Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre. Even though they teased Rollins. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Now the other matches on the show, Chelsea Green versus Michin was a very good match, but Chelsea Green got disqualified. I think she used the candlestick to attack Michin and got DQ. And then she attacked her again, her and Piper Niven. And then B-Fab came in and had Michin back, Miriam back. They could be setting up B-Fab and Chelsea Green. Because B-Fab, we've seen her get physical. She's been in the ring a couple of times. We could be seeing that pretty soon. Jimmy Uso take down Carmelo Hayes. Obviously, Jimmy Uso had a pretty decent match here. Is Jimmy in the Rumble? I'm not sure if he is. I don't think we need all the bloodline in the Rumble. We got Roman. Jay will be in the Rumble. Will Jimmy be in it? Is Jacob Fatu in it? Hopefully. Now, this was a decent match. Jimmy Uso got the victory. He won with a roll up. He got a full victory over Carmelo Hayes. They're still pushing Jimmy as a singles. Charlotte Flair, another vignette. As you guys know, last week they already announced that she's gonna be in the Rumble. Now she's vowing to win the Rumble. I wonder who can eliminate Charlotte Flair. What number is she gonna come out? Is she gonna come out early or late? And who can eliminate Charlotte Flair? I think she might win it and face Tiffany Stratton. She's not gonna face Rhea again. She might face Tiffany Stratton. I don't know. We have to wait and see. Now that's when we had Damian Priest came out, announced that he's on SmackDown, and then Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Fatu and Priest had a very good stare down and a good back and forth. Jacob Fatu very decent on the mic, and then Ella Knight came out and helped Priest against Fatu and Tama. So they're still protecting Fatu, and obviously they are going to build up Damian Priest. Now here this 8-man tag was. Now it says here the match was alright. It was pretty good. Apparently during the match, Lock Galza, Humberto and Angel Garza abandoned the Motor Machine Gun against DIY and Pretty Deadly. And DIY and Pretty Deadly got the victory here. We had Tyrese Mason win a SmackDown. He was in this interview with Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. He was actually on the kickoff show earlier to hype up the Rumble. I think we'll only see him do these like interviews and these segments on SmackDown. Naomi versus Liv Morgan. Naomi defeated Liv Morgan, and then after that, I think they were attacked by Raquel, and Bianca had her back, and then Bianca and Naomi stood tall. They're obviously setting up Liv Morgan and Raquel to face Bianca and Naomi for those tag team titles. I think Liv Morgan might win those tag team titles with Raquel. I have a feeling. I think they will. Otherwise, where are they going with this? We seen them in the ring. We saw them in tag team. We saw them in the one-on-one. I think we're setting up Liv and Raquel to win those tag team titles. Hopefully, Jade comes back from the Rumble and we tell the story of who took a while, why it happened. Something's gonna happen here. Andrade defeated The Miz after they interacted backstage in a backstage segment. Andrade is a babyface, so we beat The Miz. Hopefully, we have plans for him going to WrestleMania. He was on it last year. Hopefully, he can be on it this year. He'll probably be in the mid card. Now, I think I showed y'all this, but we had Tiffany Stratton face their favorite Candice LeRae. Nia Jax used Candice to ambush Tiffany. Clearly, the feud not over. Gonna continue. Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton will be going at it. And then we got this segment with R-Truth trying to find the Judgment Day Clubhouse. R-Truth and Damian Priest reunite. Yeah, I remember last year we had that great storyline with R-Truth and the Judgment Day. And what they did at WrestleMania last year. We could see that again. Now, I just want to let you guys know during this segment with R-Truth and Damian Priest talking, and then Ella Knight getting involved. You know, they showed Shinsuke Nakamura backstage, like he was actually behind the scenes. He was behind. He was behind all three of these guys. Nakamura backstage. He was behind all three of these guys with the U.S. title. Nakamura, he's gonna be in the Rumble. What we doing with Nakamura? Who's he gonna defend the title against? I hope he's losing the title because we don't need to see Nakamura as champion. He's been champion for 2 months, hadn't done shit with it. He hasn't defended the title that month. He didn't have a big program. Can we take it off of him? We shouldn't. We don't need him. Um. All right. Okay. So what else? There's the Rumble countdown. There's the post show. Dreaming of the Royal Rumble. I could have sworn that there was something else. Now this is the Royal Rumble. Wait, was that it? Or was there something else that I missed? Oh yeah, I forgot. The Royal Rumble kickoff show. Drew McIntyre leads into Sami Zayn over his friendship with the Bloodline or Kevin Owens. Now, as you guys know, Triple H gets surprised with the Hall of Fame honor. It's believed that Triple H will be making the Hall of Fame. I think he had to. I think it's well deserved. Triple H finally in the Hall of Fame. Gonna retire. That could be very good. It was sad when he had to announce his retirement due to the cardiac arrest, but Triple H is well deserved for retirement. He's the greatest of all time. He's been champion. He's had great moments. He's had one of the best feuds in his career. I'm happy. Triple H is my favorite of all time. He's someone I grew up loving in WWE. Now, this is what we got on the Royal Rumble kickoff in Indianapolis. This was earlier in the day. Tyreek picked John Cena to win the Rumble. Triple H talked with with Tyrese. Drew McIntyre laid in the same vein over his friendship. Cody Rhodes and Michael Cole, epic crowd surf. That was great. Bianca, Naomi, Liv, Morgan, and Bayley are set for the Rumble. Here's the great promo package with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. They had a great theme song to this. That was very good. Now, Clash in Paris. That's on August 31st. This is another pay-per-view. It's no longer called It's no longer called Clash of the Castle. It's called Clash in Paris, Sunday, August 31st. So obviously that's going to be after SummerSlam, I think. Just like Bash and Berlin. Now it's called Clash in Paris. I wonder why they changed the name. Alright, there's the main event. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Final Fantasy. Okay. CM Punk leaked AJ's return. Now they said that Penta is making his WWE debut for the first time ever, first ever Royal Rumble. There's also rumored that AJ Lee is set for a Rumble return. Will she be in the Rumble? There've been speculation to talk about it.
What's that? Am I the only one who doesn't get it? Ladies and gentlemen, it is one of the biggest wrestling weekends.
Now, we have major Rumble surprises, playing returns. The big one is AJ Lee. We could see AJ Lee possibly make a return in the Royal Rumble. How likely is it? We don't know. I do have some latest update on it. JD does too. We could see some surprises, some returns. We could see some NXT call up. We could see people from TNA like what's her name? Jordan Grace. Jordan A. Grace could be in the Rumble. Maybe Joe Henry or Nick Nemeth. Matt Cardona could be in the Rumble, aka Zack Ryder. He could be in the Rumble. AJ Lee could make a return after 10 years of being away from the company. Imagine if she went to the Rumble, her and Punk. Imagine how great of a moment that'll be for them. Alright. Can Johnson overcome odds here? And new WWE show coming. OG Bloodline. Gold sooner than later. Alright. Stephanie places coming in March.
On Earth.
Now this look different. And they changed the look.
Can't really point to anything on this show tonight that got me any more excited for the Rumble than I was coming into it. It was one of those nights. But this was the go-home show, the final episode before the Royal Rumble. And we had Damian Priest in the main event, tagging with LA Knight against the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, representing Bloodline 2.0. And it's good to see Damian Priest get some new life here on Friday night because, he had done all that he could do on Mondays, especially with the Judgment Day. Had to get him as far away from them as possible. So moving him over to a new show, fresh coat of paint, was the best possible thing they could do with him. And already he's in the main event, and already he's out there and he's picking up his first, big win here on SmackDown. And you already know I'm a big fan of Jacob Fatu. So the more we get of Jacob Fatu on these shows, I think that's a great thing. But they do this 50-50 shit sometimes, where they'll give one person the win, but then they'll immediately have the heel, let's say, like tonight, it happened 2 different times, who loses in the match, immediately attack them to get their heat back. And, it'd be one thing to do it once, but they did it twice tonight. They did it in the main event, and they did it earlier in the show with the women as well. So that was kind of annoying. And the match itself, I thought, was okay, but
as the closing segment on this, your final episode of TV before your second biggest show of the year. Because we've had some TV shows, Raw and SmackDown, in past years, and I'm not even saying it has to be, the giant brawl or all 30 men are beating the hell out of each other and it's a melee. But we've had some pretty, exciting closing segments, kind of like the closing argument before the Rumble. And for this to be their closing argument before one of the more star-studded Royal Rumble matches that they have had in years, that you basically put just a regular old tag team match out there with, and none of the names in the match, I'm not saying Damian Priest is not a star in this company or LA Knight is not a star. Damian Priest and LA Knight and even Jacob Fatu and these guys, they are not in the conversation as far as people who are going to walk out with a W in that men's Royal Rumble match tomorrow. It's not going to happen. And so they decided to close the show with this instead of having a segment that really tapped into that star power, tapped into the most interesting part of the show tomorrow, which is who is going to win the men's Royal Rumble match. So the fact that they, chose to go off the air with this, I was just left like sitting here going, this is it? Like, this is what you give us? The final shot, the final parting shot for this big Royal Rumble event, 65,000 people they're going to have in Lucas Oil Stadium tomorrow. A lot of big names in that Rumble match. See any of them here? There were a couple of things I liked on the show, mainly the interaction that came at the very beginning with CM Punk and with Kevin Owens. That was right at the top of the show. It was a long show, too, because they're all 3 hours now. And so we had an interaction between Punk and Owens for the first time out in the ring since Punk came back to the company. I think before this, there had been a very brief backstage interaction between the two of them. So this is something that perked me up, and I said, oh, okay, this is interesting now. This was an interaction I was not expecting on the show tonight. That was my favorite part of the show. At least they gave us Punk in the opening segment, right? He was the biggest name, and they kind of blew it off in the opening segment, and after that, it was all downhill from there. Right? I mean, there's no John. We haven't seen John Cena since that first Raw on Netflix. This whole big story about him chasing after number 17. I have to win the Rumble. It's my last Rumble. So at least they aired a video package for him later in the show. It's like they remembered, oh yeah, John Cena's in the Rumble. But no John Cena, no Roman Reigns, another one we haven't seen since the Raw debut on Netflix. No Cody on the show tonight. So virtually none of the major names that are in that Rumble that you would have expected. Outside of that opening segment, this was a pretty boring show.
Yeah.
And as you can tell from other reviews that I've done this week, I am not shy to tell you when I think the show is fucking boring. And I'm sorry to say that was the case for a majority of the show. Thankfully, it didn't ruin my excitement that I still have for the Rumble. I am looking forward to the Rumble tomorrow. But this show certainly did not do anything to get me any more excited, I can tell you that. We're going to talk about it all here. This is your Friday night SmackDown review for Jen. And I'll be reading those here a little bit later on in the stream. But before I move ahead here, I also just wanted to take a channel feeling even better and looking better and sounding better for the Rumble tonight. Better fucking look and sound better. Used on Saturday night's main event. Cole introduced Pat McAfee. They were in Indianapolis. That's where the Rumble is tomorrow. That's what they were tonight. So of course, Pat's a huge hero, and everybody. People in New York might have something to say about that, but I don't know. Do you feel like what is it that fans don't understand? And Owens called Tessitore a Cody Rhodes fanboy, and he lamented. So this right here, I didn't know it at the time, but this turned out, for me anyway, to be the peak of the show. They peaked in the opening quarter hour of the show tonight. CM Punk joined Owens in the ring. Owens said he felt conflicted. It was more for segments like this. Two masters of the mic. There are a lot of people who would get in the ring and, against CM Punk or against the John Cena, right? There are just some people
Well, I
where
only do
when they're
3
when
shows.
they're on their game,
I only do
right,
like 3
they will
shows.
just
They
turn
make
you
me
into mincemeat
not all these shows.
if you can't match
I
them,
don't do maybe
right?
some.
Line for
Maybe
line.
no one's this year.
And a lot of people
And no
can.
one's including me.
A lot of people, they don't have the promo
3 shows
ability or
are
the
not
ability to connect with an audience on the mic in the way that a CM Punk has. Kevin Owens doesn't have that issue, though, because Kevin Owens, he absolutely can hold his own. And Kevin Owens has a quality that CM Punk has. It's a quality that makes everything he says sound genuine. He doesn't sound fake or forced when he's out there.
Okay. That's Phil and Wes. Year best AEW collision. Timeless 24 back.
Thing to see.
Now let's look at JD from New York. Let's see what he had to say. This will suck.
7,000 people inside Lucas Oil Field on Saturday night. This will be the biggest and most largest non-WrestleMania event in the history of WWE here in North America. It's crazy. Oh, but the product is the product is cold, Jake. Nobody cares. When they're making the amount of money that they're making, who gives a shit? At least they ain't in the 600,000s like some other fucking show that airs on Wednesday nights, who don't want to even release their max viewership. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why. Anyway, SmackDown tonight. We have not much happening tonight, really. I mean, I don't know what else to really say, man. This show was okay. If you really want to compare it to whatever we got from the last 2 weeks, WWE put on a decent show compared to the last 2 weeks, which, I mean, if you bought yourself a pillow and laid down in front of your TV screens, you might have fallen asleep. You might have fallen asleep even tonight, to be quite honest with you. But we had some pretty important stuff happen tonight, 2 in particular. One with CM Punk and Kevin Owens, the other with Jacob Fatu and Damian Priest. We'll get into that. Obviously, WWE, they're not going to do too much tonight. It's basically one of those appetizers. Not even before the appetizer is. What is it? Usually you get some bread and some nice butter. Right? You go to the Italian restaurant, man. They give you the nice sliced bread, and they give you the butter and the olive oil and the fucking red pepper flakes, whatever else they give you. Right? That's what tonight was. Making myself hungry over here. That's what tonight was. Tomorrow, the undercard is going to be the appetizer, and then the Royal Rumble is obviously going to be the main course for WWE as we begin the road to WrestleMania. CM Punk and Kevin Owens. We'll start there. I did not expect CM Punk and Kevin Owens to have a face-to-face tonight. We did not see Cody Rhodes this evening. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk had a face-to-face on Monday night that basically set up a potential WrestleMania match. So WWE figured that they would do the same tonight with the other man involved in the WWE title match at the Royal Rumble. Being that we got Cody Rhodes on Monday, we got Kevin Owens on Friday night. As CM Punk crashed the party as Joe Tessitore was interviewing Kevin Owens. A lot of people were wondering, well, why did they do this on Friday night before Saturday's Royal Rumble? Folks, the answer is very simple. A, because it makes sense, being that CM Punk is proclaimed everywhere to everyone on every platform in every publication that he will win the Royal Rumble. So clearly, if he is confident in winning the Royal Rumble, he's going to show face to not only the WWE champion currently in Cody Rhodes, he's going to show face to the challenger who could very well win the WWE championship at the Royal Rumble, and his name is Kevin Owens. Do I think that's going to happen? The answer is no. Kevin Owens is not going to win the WWE championship tomorrow night. He will not be pulling down both belts from the ladder match. I do believe Randy Orton and Kevin Owens is the plan for WrestleMania. If they do deviate away from that, I don't really know why they would, and I don't really know who either guy goes after at WrestleMania. I don't really understand it. So that's what I'm sticking with. Plans obviously could change. Obviously, Triple H has 2 or 3 WrestleMania cards just in case things go awry for whatever reason, injuries. Maybe they just go in a different direction in general. Maybe Dwayne wants to poke his nose and say, this is what's going to happen, and this is now WrestleMania. And then he blows up everything. We don't really know.
Holy God.
So yes, it makes sense. It's logical that CM Punk would come face to face with both the competitors in the ladder match. Not only that, CM Punk, he set himself up for future programs. And he's been very good at doing that. Obviously, he's come in and he's feuded with Drew McIntyre, and he's feuded with Seth Rollins, and he's helped the Bloodline win War Games, the OG Bloodline, that is, against Solo's Bloodline 2.0. He's helped Roman win War Games.
I heard about
He's
the
mentioned
I know
Kevin
what
Owens.
I heard
He's
about
mentioned
the
Roman
Rays,
Reigns.
the heads.
He's mentioned
Maggie.
John Cena.
Merle did that.
He's
Merle did
mentioned
that. No, you know what
Gunther.
I'm talking about. You know all about
And
me.
now
I
Kevin
know
Owens.
all about you.
So
Andrew
CM
told
Punk
me
has
what did my son.
strategically laid out
You know
all of
me.
his
I know
potential
all about
top tier
you. Andrew told
opponents
me what you
for
gonna do to my
future
son.
programs. And Kevin
Andrew,
Owens is certainly one of
you
them.
know
Does
all
that
about
happen
me.
this
I
year?
know all
I don't
about
know.
you.
I don't know. They'd have to be
You
on the
know
same
all
brand.
about
Right,
me.
right
I
now,
know
Kevin
all
Owens is
about
on
you.
SmackDown and
I
CM
know
Punk is on
that.
Monday Night Raw. They'd have to
You
be
care
on the
about my
same
son.
brand because the transfer window
You
closes
know
this
all
weekend.
about me. I know about you.
But I
care
do
about
think
that.
that they will eventually
But I
feud.
do care about my
And
children.
that's the reason why
My son.
this segment took
Exactly.
place. We'll go over the dialogue when we get to
Andrew,
the
he told me
actual
what
review
happened.
and
What
break
you
this
gonna do
thing
to him?
down. But the
What
reason
you-
why they did it tonight was because it's WrestleMania season. They want to tease you with as much unpredictability and as much possibility as they can. And CM Punk is just lining up
I can
his
tell.
ducks in
I
a
can
row
tell when they're
on who he's eventually going to
these
feud
are
with. So
Merle's teeth.
they're just kind of
Yeah,
leaving
this
that
is
there
in
to
the past.
grow.
You live in the past. You too.
They're leaving
This
that
is
there
all
to
the
just
things. You live in
flourish
the past
into a nice,
time. You
beautiful
too.
plant at some
You both.
point. And when it's
You
ready,
too.
it's going to be beautiful.
Live in the past time.
It's exactly
You
what
too.
they did.
And this is
No
survival.
other
This is
in-betweens. There's no other funny business. It's exactly why they did what they did. They want you to believe CM Punk is going to win the Royal Rumble. They want you to believe Kevin Owens is going to win the WWE Championship. One of those things is very well going to happen. But I will reserve judgment on CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble. It could be John Cena. It could be Drew McIntyre. It could be The Rock. We don't Randy Orton. We don't know. We don't know. CM Punk has been the only guy that they've really kind of put in the forefront. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. Makes you think that he's not going to win the Royal Rumble. They've been very vocal with CM Punk. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. Normally, if someone says as many times as Punk has, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble, the numbers don't really work in his favor. And he may not win the Royal Rumble. Jacob Fatu. He's now off the leash. He has no more master. He has no more leader. He is his own man. He's unleashed and is ready to cause chaos. Jacob Fatu, if you guys are not aware, is him. He is him. Jacob Fatu's uncut, animalistic, primal presentation is quickly becoming a must-see on Friday Night SmackDown, and the fans are acting accordingly. He's real. He's legit. Every word out of his mouth is him. That's why it works.
You're gonna
You're not scripting Jacob Fatu. You're not putting words on a fucking paper written by some other
No, no,
writer who
you're
doesn't
gonna
get Jacob Fatu, who's not Jacob Fatu, that hasn't
You-
lived the life that
I'm
Jacob
trying to
Fatu
take
has
it out
lived.
on you.
What you're getting
You
is Jacob
are gonna
Fatu.
be
You're
my
getting it
bitch.
in the mannerisms. You're getting it in the
You're
vocabulary. You're
gonna be
getting
my
it in his
voice.
presentation. You're
You're
getting it
gonna
in his
be my
tone of
leader.
voice. You're getting
You're
it in
gonna
his
be my
delivery.
enforcer.
Everything is Jacob
You are
Fatu.
gonna be my bitch.
That's why it's working. If this was Vince McMahon, he'd probably transform Jacob Fatu into a fucking mute and put a manager with him because he didn't like the way he spoke. Triple H is letting Jacob Fatu go out there and get over on his own. And within 3 weeks of him already leaving Solo Sikoa, from what we've seen, he's quickly becoming his own man. And you could see where the rocket is going. Straight up. Straight up. Royal Rumbles tomorrow. Jacob Fatu is going to have what they call the diesel spot, or the big man spot, where he's alone in the ring. We get a couple of people, a couple of fluff guys coming out there, and they're going right over the top rope. Jacob Fatu is going to have the most eliminations. I don't know if he's going to rival one of the records. I don't know if he's going to get double-digit eliminations, but I do think that he's going to eliminate many people tomorrow in the Royal Rumble. That's his job. And then a stare down with Solo Sikoa. Maybe we get a stare down with Roman Reigns. Whatever the case may be. Bloodline family drama in the Royal Rumble. This Royal Rumble has the makings to be one of the best storyline Rumbles in the history of the Royal Rumble. So Jacob Fatu killed it with his promo tonight against Damian Priest. And Damian Priest, he upped his game with Jacob Fatu in the promo that he cut. Very brief and very blunt. But you saw the intensity that Jacob Fatu had, and that intensity was met by Damian Priest. He upped his game, or Fatu, I should say, brought that fire out of Damian Priest, which is also a great thing to see. Other than that, SmackDown was okay. There was a couple of good matches tonight. Nothing that I'm going to ask you guys to go or tell you guys to go back and watch. I mean, it was just a ho-hum show. Andrade and The Miz had a decent TV match. There was a nice little 8-man tag team match with all the tag teams on Friday Night SmackDown. Got a tag team main event that was born from the Jacob Fatu and Damian Priest segment. Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu in a tag team match against LA Knights and Damian Priest. And then obviously CM Punk and Kevin Owens. So all in all, much better than what we got in the past couple weeks, but still the show is an absolute chore to sit through at 3 hours. And I'm hoping that change is going into the Royal Rumble and going into next week. Because coming out of the Royal Rumble, we should really be seeing the WWE turn on their engines and fucking shift this gear into a nice speed going down the highway on the road to WrestleMania. So I hope that's the case. But all in all, we'll get into what I thought was a very okay SmackDown tonight. Nothing too crazy. And I'm thanking you guys for joining me here tonight on the podcast. It is Friday, January 31st, the last stream of what I can now say is the second biggest January in the history of the channel. The only reason why it's not number one is because last year the Royal Rumble happened last weekend. And if we had the Royal Rumble, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn up. Just like I did it for WWE, just like I did it for AEW. I am one of the most honest, upfront. So do you guys want to get it? I don't drink soda anymore because it's just fucking unbelievable. Make sure we take food off this table, bro. Great. I think that is worth it. Damian Priest, all were shown walking into the building. Michael Cole, who is not the play-by-play commentator on Friday nights, it is Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett. But Michael Cole was out there. They had a little desk and a podium by the stage. And he introduced Pat McAfee. They were like the guest hosts of SmackDown tonight. They wanted to get everybody involved, being that it's Royal Rumble weekend. McAfee made his entrance. He stood at the small desk with Cole. He said the city is world class. System. He walks down to the ring. He grabbed the microphone. Loud CM Punk chants. Punk stood in the ring listening to everybody shower him with love. Owens and Punk stood.
These are like the only. We have Joe Cronin, we have Solid Monster, JD, and Fightful. That's it. There's not much here. Well, the other one did live streams, so go ahead. I might well.
I started from my.
Oh, what the?
The other was for Owens, thinking Punk was looking past Owens for WrestleMania. Punk said when he wins the Royal Rumble, and if Owens makes it past a very angry Cody Rhodes, the main event of WrestleMania could very well be Kevin Owens versus CM Punk. Punk said if Owens wins the Rumble, or he wins at the Rumble, I should say, Owens' title reign won't last long because he'd take the title from Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Owens says he felt conflicted because, on one hand, there are 29 other guys in the Rumble that he likes more than CM Punk. But at the same time, Owens says the thought of Punk versus Owens in the main event of WrestleMania, he likes that. He even likes the thought better of Owens beating Punk's ass in the main event of WrestleMania. So he said that appealed to him. That match in the main event with him beating CM Punk's ass in the main event of WrestleMania appealed to him. Owens played up the fact that all Punk wanted to do for his entire career was main event WrestleMania. It was a childhood dream that he aspired to achieve all these years. Right now, WrestleMania and the main event is right at Punk's fingertips. Owens said the idea of Punk never getting to main event WrestleMania is so good to Kevin Owens. He said he loves the thought of Punk never completing that dream. Owens says he loves the thought of Punk never completing that dream. Owens stepped towards Punk even more so and said Punk will go to his grave, never main eventing WrestleMania, known as a miserable failure. Owens says he hopes Punk doesn't win the Royal Rumble. Dropped the microphone and left. CM Punk said, no. Where you going?
Hey.
Owens stood on the ring apron. Punk said he had never lost 5 title matches at the Royal Rumble like Kevin Owens has. So he's listing off Kevin Owens' failures. He lost 5 title matches at the Royal Rumble. Punk said, I never lost to Logan Paul. He says he would shiver at the thought of saying that again twice because it's ridiculous. Owens has lost to Logan Paul. Punk said he never tried to manipulate his best friend to help him win a title, which is currently happening right now. He's trying to manipulate Sami Zayn. CM Punk called that out, little seed planted for what may happen tomorrow. Owens has taken shortcuts. And Punk noted that now he has to throw 29 other guys over the top rope, while Owens has to survive a very pissed off Cody Rhodes in a ladder match. So Punk invited Owens back into the ring so that they could fight here tonight and he can kick his ass. Punk told Owens to not be afraid. Owens teased getting back in the ring and, like a consummate heel, dropped the microphone and left. He took his winged eagle belt and walked up the ramp. Punk's music hit, and it signaled the end of the set.
He lost the Royal Rumble in 2016.
I love this. Crowd chanted, holy shit, holy shit. They didn't even say a fucking word to each other yet. So you know that WWE is planning this at some point in the future. They have to. This was basically them saying, all right, when Punk gets through WrestleMania, this is what you have to look forward to. It's going to happen. Now, I am entering tomorrow very cautiously on multiple fronts. WWE has been very safe with a lot of their shows. Very safe. Survivor Series was very safe. Saturday night's main event on the 14th of December, very safe. Monday Night Raw debut on Netflix January 6th, very safe. Saturday night's main event that we just had this past Saturday, very safe. WWE needs to take whatever car that they're driving in, whatever car Triple H is driving in, he needs to shift that shit up to a couple of gears where he is right now. And instead of doing 55 in the right lane, he needs to get into the left lane and pump that shit up to at least 85. And that's going at normal speed, following the flow of traffic. I'm not even asking him to go I'm not even asking him to get into the dark horse and go 110 miles an hour down the New Jersey Turnpike. I'm not asking him to do that. I would really want to see them tomorrow night give us as many emotional tie-ins and as many stories tomorrow that we could really sink our teeth into, going into Monday, going into Friday, and then going into the Elimination Chamber, which will be basically a month from tomorrow. That's what they need. Triple H is setting this up for the future. The way that Punk's been saying, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. He even said it tonight. I'm going to throw 29 guys over the top rope and win the Royal Rumble. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. Punk has made it very known for several weeks now that he is going to win the Royal Rumble. You know, I don't want to put bad juju or cast a dark cloud over CM Punk, because if there is one guy that should win the Royal Rumble, it is definitely him. And I mean that. Main event of WrestleMania with CM Punk in it is probably the way that WWE is thinking right now. He's the biggest money-making machine there, not named Cody Rhodes. The way that he said it, and as often as he said it, it makes me want to think that he's not winning the Royal Rumble. I don't know what we do. I think we're in for a surprise. I do think that if Punk wins and it happens, I think people will be happy, but I do think that it's a safe choice. John Cena wins the Royal Rumble tomorrow. I think that is a very predictable and safe choice. CM Punk isn't really all that predictable because he's got many other different things surrounding him that makes his journey to WrestleMania a little unpredictable. Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, The Rock. We don't really know. The WWE is plastered Cody and Punk, Owens and Punk, back-to-back weeks now, or back-to-back shows in the same week. Is it going to be that obvious? Is it going to be that obvious that CM Punk is going to win the Royal Rumble, or is this something that WWE wants you to think, and then they're going to go in a different direction? They got some huge, big, elaborate fucking plan that nobody has a clue of tomorrow night. There are many different people that could win that Royal Rumble. Punk could win it. Sami Zayn could win it. Roman Reigns could win it. Randy Orton, who's not announced, could be in the Rumble and win it. Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, John Cena. For all we know, Dwayne's going to be in the Royal Rumble. There's a lot of different.
When paying with cash out front is a problem because you have rounded turned up.
Give me 17 cents on Bitcoin.
Aspect of the Royal Rumble match tomorrow, both for the men and the women. We don't know. But WWE's really made it a point. Punk is going to win the Rumble. I'm going to win the Rumble. I'm going to win the Rumble. To basically everybody. Jackie Redmond, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, John Cena. Tonight, Cody Rhodes. Is he? I feel like the more you say something, the less it's going to happen. What does WWE got planned? I don't know. But what I can tell you is what they got planned here. This match is a future match, whether it's for the title or not. It's going to happen. And WWE tonight, the reason for this segment, not only they wanted to tease Punk's involvement in the Royal Rumble, Punk's journey to WrestleMania, Punk could choose Kevin Owens or Cody Rhodes, they want you to think that either one of these guys could get CM Punk. But the main reason why they did it is because eventually Owens and Punk will be in a major program, and it will be a great feud for WWE, as referenced by the fans who chanted holy shit, before they even said it. Carmelo Hayes. He walked to the ring with a microphone as he was getting ready to wrestle Jimmy Uso. He walked to the ring with a microphone and called Jimmy Uso not the one, but the two. Mello says he won't miss because his name isn't Tyrese Halliburton. Show obviously showed Tyrese in the crowd because he was at the kickoff show for the Royal Rumble today. He was sitting front row.
Well, yeah, so, now hold on. I have to look at my news and rumors. I have to look at, AEW Dynamite, looking at what was on SmackDown, and I'll get back to my, predictions here. Oh, the lucky one. That's weird. How is it the same one? That's weird. I could have what? Warlord. Wouldn't it? I don't know. Well, that's very, very weird. Kind of weird that the one. It's showing like the same episode. Alright, hold on a second. Well, that I don't understand. Alright, I'm just looking at the news and rumors for WWE SmackDown. What else was on the show? The backstage segment, we had Talking Smack. And we had after AEW Dynamite, the show was boring. The show was empty, terrible. AEW not looking good. Tony Khan doesn't care about Wednesday nights. The show was an afterthought. It was irrelevant. No one cared about AEW Dynamite. The show wasn't that good. It was terrible. SmackDown was actually boring. Thought there was some good wrestling, but it was still boring. Nothing happened on the show. Outside the opening segment with Kevin Owens and CM Punk. And that was it. Literally, like, that was it. Um, Alright, let's go back to JD from New York.
Jimmy tried to jumpstart the match. Mello quickly countered, and we get the first match underway on Friday Night SmackDown, which most of Friday night was commercial free within the first hour of SmackDown. So good on them. I didn't really know that was a thing. So I was surprised when they didn't go to commercial, but it was slightly commercial free for an hour. James Ginger, in the comfort of loved ones and in the comfort of the couch that you currently occupy. So, if you guys want to get on the Rumble pool, it is still obviously open. Jimmy Uso. He went one-on-one with Carmelo Hayes here. We did not really get any Carmelo and Tyrese Halliburton face-to-face or any type of inter. Because I landed him in a good 30, 40 minutes. Maybe he makes it all the way to the final 4 or 5. I don't know. He needs something like that. That's innocent enough to give him something to really start to open the eyes of some fans that don't think he could win a match. He hasn't really done much of anything. Tomorrow could be a great reset for him. You put him in the Royal Rumble match, you give him a couple of eliminations, you have him play the game smart, you have him lay low, you have him lay in the corner during the Rumble, you have him kind of active in there doing his thing. Couple of eliminations here, 3 or 4 eliminations, a 40-minute, 45-minute run in the Rumble. That shit goes a long way, man. That shit goes a long way. So hopefully that is his spot tomorrow in the Royal Rumble. So we'll pick it up in the middle of the match here. This was commercial free. Mello was on the outside.
Playing the Hawks tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Royal Rumble starts at 6 Eastern. He wondered if we would see Halliburton at the Rumble. Halliburton said that, well, the plan is to beat the Hawks and then show up at Lucas Oil. And that was it. That's all he did on the show. Then they aired footage of
CM Punk was on the Pat McAfee show today. He joined the show.
Michael Cole. I was like,
and I have to say, the idea
I know it's not a new song, but it's better than the one they went with.
He gets a 2.5. Mello couldn't believe he did not get the victory. He went back up to the top rope. Jimmy cut him off with a big kick. Jimmy went for another big move off the top. Mello countered into a roll-up. Jimmy kicked out, rolled Mello up for the win while hooking the tights to help him get a victory. Jimmy Uso cheats to win against Carmelo Hayes. He's been on the brand for about a year. Coming up on a year. He was the brand's #1 draft pick. Has he performed like a #1 draft pick? Has he won like a #1 draft pick? Braun Breaker wasn't a #1 draft pick for Monday Night Raw. Braun Breaker has had one hell of a fucking year. He's a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. So I don't know when Carmelo Hayes is going to eventually catch up to Braun Breaker. He is way behind for the two guys who led NXT 2.0 as #1A and #1B. He's nowhere near where Braun Breaker is right now. We got to start asking that question of why. This show could use some fresh, young talent at the top of the card, like someone in Carmelo Hayes. So like I said, hopefully the Royal Rumble serves as a catalyst to help further his push on Friday night. It is on Triple H. It is on Triple H. I don't know what we're doing. Is it a slow burn? I know the company values Carmelo. I know they think he's a future piece of the company. I know they do. But he's not being booked like it. And I don't really understand why. Why is Braun Breaker lighting the world on fire and Carmelo Hayes can't get a victory over Jimmy Uso? Just a question, a concern. Hopefully the Royal Rumble fixes that tomorrow. They did the Royal Rumble by the numbers video, which is always great. I love a nice Rumble by the numbers video. Chelsea Green. She was interviewed by Byron Saxton. Green said last week, Michin tried to destroy the face of the United States, and tonight,
What did you really accomplish here? I do think that Liv and Raquel are probably getting those titles, but only when we get Jade Cargill back. Could be tomorrow, but whenever we get Jade back, and we take that next step in that story, that will lead to those titles leaving Bianca and Naomi and going to whoever they're going to go to. And Liv and Raquel makes sense. Especially Liv lost her world championship. She needs something to do. She's not going after the Intercontinental title right now. I think she might eventually. But the tag team titles on Liv and Raquel. Why not? But again, only when Jade comes back. I don't see them dropping those belts. It's not like they're going to have a tag team title match and they're just going to lose them, and that's going to be, it's just going to be like any other match. That drama has to play out first before we see those titles go anywhere. And I'm still in the camp that says Naomi. I know people were saying Bailey, people think it's Bianca. I'm still sticking with Naomi as the culprit in all this. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett were at their desks speaking, and they set up a video package that recapped the Jacob Fatu Braun Strowman match from Saturday night's main event. We had The Miz against Andrade. And this is, again, I'm sitting here and I'm like, it's hour number 3. And I'm watching The Miz against Andrade. Why is this show 3 hours? Especially the go-home show. That's the thing. Like, these 3-hour SmackDowns are tough. Okay? They're not good. But what makes it worse is when you have a go-home show. So you know you're not going to get any major developments, and it's really just one big advertisement for the PLE the next day. And now you're stretching out a 2-hour commercial, basically, for the Rumble into 3. And it's like, ugh. It's even worse. So now it's hour 3, and I'm like, all right, let's see what we got here. And honestly, the match they had wasn't a bad match. But I'm sorry, when you have an otherwise boring SmackDown and you get to hour number 3, it's 10:15 or whatever it was, and I'm watching The Miz against Andrade. This is not a winner. I'm sorry. So Miz landed a flying head scissors early on, and the crowd cheered. Action spilled outside. Andrade followed with a springboard moonsault onto Miz on the floor. Show went to a commercial break. Come back from the break. Miz was in control. Why? Who cares? Andrade booted Miz in the face. Miz came back with a tilt-a-whirl DDT for a near fall. Miz went to the top. Andrade cut him off. With the two of them on top, Andrade pulled him off with a Spanish fly. Got a near fall out of it. And chants of "This is awesome" rang out through the crowd. I'm convinced. I'm convinced that today's WWE audience, if someone took an 18-inch shit, like in the back, and they're so proud of it, they took a picture of, like Jim Ross has told that story, that Brian told it. It's like he took the longest shit that you've ever seen. He was so proud of it. He took a picture of it and he sent it to Jim Ross, who I'm sure was just thrilled as can be when he saw this. But I'm convinced that if you did that and you threw that up on the screen, it would get chants of "This is awesome." Like that's how low the bar has been dropped. Andrade missed the moonsault attempt.
And then there was Rey Mysterio. Well, that night, Rey Mysterio got pulled down.
Spinning back elbow, and that was enough to get him to win.
Well, it wasn't his fault.
And I like
it
that.
wasn't Rey Mysterio's fault.
Because that spinning back elbow that he does, he's been doing it since,
But people,
I don't
fans
know
were
if
that
he was
pissed
really
because he
doing that
wasn't
much.
getting the point. Oh, I remember that. Rey Mysterio was pulled down.
Oh, hi there.
The crowd didn't care about Rey
I
Mysterio. They
will.
weren't getting the point.
Up to 8. Chelsea pushed Meechin over the top rope to the outside. So we go back inside and they.
Well, I think I made this long enough. Not much to talk about here. I think I talked about everything. I talked about WWE, talked about SmackDown, talked about the predictions for the Rumble tomorrow night. I think that's all I'm going to show here. Gonna end the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with more. I will do my live stream for the Royal Rumble tomorrow night. Yeah. Until next time, this is Jacob Cast 2024. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. We'll be right here live doing the Rumble. See y'all later.